What's going on, world? It's your boy Gemini Brown here, back with another episode of Nalo Kicking Knowledge. Today, we'll be taking a look at this week's forecast, seeing what the stars have in store for us. So, let's get into it. As always, shout out to all the Tauruses celebrating birthdays. We got approximately 2 more days left for Taurus season. And you know what time it is. Come on. Alright, drum roll please. Let's welcome the sun into Gemini. Of course, you know, Gemini in this modern day and time has become probably the most hated sign. And I don't know why. God, but I swear we're so easy to love. But anywho, this is one of the best times of the year, okay? And I'm not just saying that because I'm a Gemini. I'm just speaking facts here, people. So let's talk a little bit about Gemini energy, all right? So this is the third season of this solar year, all right? We've initiated new beginnings within Aries. We've sustained those new beginnings within Aries. And this year, you know, with Uranus's presence here, and that's going to be for the next few years, we've really taken a look at our values and how they can serve to liberate us, okay? Now, we have mutable air. And Gemini is really about, just like all mutable signs, is about flexibility. It is not fixed. It's quite different than that. It's about seeing all the possibilities out there, okay? Seeing it from this side and that side and forming an opinion. It is about communication. It's about learning. This sign is represented by teachers, by students, okay? It is the spark to learn is Gemini, which is our curiosity, all right? So this season, we can be experiencing a whole lot of that. So how I want to, you know, bring this in is that we should really, as always, with these last few days of Taurus, take a look back on the season and what was brought to our attention. Of course, we're just coming off a full moon within Scorpio, where we've had to release things that no longer serve, you know, our higher good. Certain toxic, you know, habits, thought forms, relationships. And now, with Gemini season here, we can greet our new found self with open-mindedness, okay, and a brand new perspective. So one of the things that's going to be occurring this week, especially coming off of that full moon, is that depending on how we go about facilitating the release of the full moon, we can get a very, very deep understanding of why we held on to the things that we did for so long, okay? And we can really start to see how the little changes that we've implemented are already affecting us in, you know, positive ways. So this week is going to be really, really good. I'm going to talk about the day the sun goes into Gemini in specific, but I want to just talk about how the moon, we can really use the moon to our benefit. So after the full moon, you know, we go into the waning phase of the moon cycle, where it's really much so about gathering perspective, seeing what has worked and what hasn't worked. And I kind of just explained that we're going to see, you know, why we were acting the way we were for so long, and, you know, start to see how the improvements that are coming from it. But I gotta warn you, there is going with change, and this just goes into learning how your mind works. Your mind, once you really start to put in that change and veer away from where you've been, it may not happen this week, but it'll happen in the coming weeks. Your mind will revert back to a place of want, that sense of security that whatever you release provided. So I want you to really be aware of that, okay? So this week, like I said, we're really reflecting, and we're making subtle changes. We're not making ginormous changes this week. We release those things, and like I suggested to you before, we have to put new things within place, okay? But we want to do this subtly. I want to use an analogy of like lifting weights, right? So let's say you're about to start lifting weights. You don't start lifting weights at 200 pounds. You got to start small and work your way up. So basically what I'm saying is this week, do not bite off more than you can chew. Pay attention to your mind and where it drifts to. What are you curious about? This will be the intuition leading us to things that are serving our higher good. Okay? Now, with the moon right now is in Sagittarius, and it'll be going into Capricorn, then Aquarius. When right now is a good time for studying and self-motivation. You know what's funny? DJ Khaled, who's a Sagittarius, he just released his album, and I swear every time, like, he's a real like Sagittarius. Like I can imagine that his self-talk is so empowering. So what I want you to do is, if you don't know who DJ Khaled is, go observe that man. We need to channel that kind of energy, this week, and especially while the moon is in Sagittarius. Focus on the desired changes that need to be made, and rather than, exerting the energy to do so, we do it internally in the sense of hyping ourselves up or affirming. Affirmations are a huge thing. And, just within myself, I've been looking at it, I'm like, man, these things are so powerful, but I struggle to do them every day, and that's part of us, just feeling confident or feeling like I got this. I don't necessarily need to do that. But it's one of those little things that if you actually do it, you will see the real effects of it. So I would encourage that this week. Do some studying, get into things that are going to help take you away from what was released, right? And as well as continue to encourage yourself. If you feel an urge to go back to that thing, just focus on what it is that you truly desire and why you released that particular thing. Okay, so that's going to be really, really big. Then the moon is going to go into Capricorn, and then Venus is here in Taurus as well, so it's going to make a trine, and then the Capricorn moon is going to conjunct Saturn and Pluto. This is a real time to catch the groove of this new way of being. Okay, this day I can see some resistance. Resistance is going to be present, but it's up to you to push through it. So I will say, with the moon trine Venus that day, it's going to be a great day to really get out and interact with people who embody the change that we are trying to make. Okay, so this energy can be channeled a lot of different ways. Not all of us can go out there and actually meet the people who embody that change, but just to give an example, I would say open up your platform of YouTube, like of the videos that you watch. Possibly watch something new, okay? And or you might find someone new on YouTube who appeals to this, okay? And that'll be a new direct way to channel this particular change that you're wishing to implement, okay? But like I said, we can also come across people who are that, and they inspire us and they help us be disciplined. But overall, we want to, during that transit, be locked in within the changes that we're making, okay, and push through the resistance. Like I said, the mind can become tricky, okay? Then we got the sun transiting into Gemini. And this is a real interesting day. There's a lot of active aspects that are going to be going on. And one of them is going to be a little long-term influence. And that's going to be the North Node in Cancer trine Neptune in Pisces. Okay, and this is going to be exact as the sun goes into Gemini. And this influence is really going to help move us forward, okay, facilitating that change. Now, this North Node in Cancer transit has been about creating a foundation, you know, grabbing security, more getting in tune with our inner femininity, okay, man or woman, it doesn't really matter, you know, tapping into that emotional realm. Now with this trine to Neptune, how this reads is that whatever area of life this is occurring for you. So let's start with the first house. Let's say you have your Cancer rising, and then you have this aspect occurring within, like, Neptune in the ninth, right? What this shows is that your sense of self, right, your will to do all the things that the North Node in Cancer entails, is going to be affected by your ability to live your truth, to really buckle down within the realm of the things that Pisces represents, which is spirituality, imagination, solitude. So one example I want to use here is that, let's say that, because always remember the ninth house is like higher learning, or I like to say higher realizations, things that we realize, okay, and as a result they become a belief, okay. So let's say you've cut ties with a particular person, group, whatever, right, and you're seeing the difference, that it's enabled you to be more within into your spirituality, or even spend more time alone. All right, what that is going to do is that it's having an effect. This realization, this higher learning, is having an effect on your overall personality and how you present yourself to the world. So what we can learn here is that maybe it was other people, or this, you know, this group or whatever, that was inhibiting us from presenting ourselves in the way that in which we wanted to. So part of this is really like I said, if you follow the will of the planets and like really release what you need to, destiny comes in. It kind of propels us forward, okay? If this is happening within your third house, there are going to be, you can come across a new group of people, right? Or maybe even a job that allows you to expand upon some skills that you didn't know you had, and this in turn creates a sense of security within yourself. All right, the big thing here is that the things of Pisces is going to serve the agenda of Cancer. It's going to provide you with a emotional security, is going to allow you to pave the way to be more in tune with your emotions, and the best thing to do is just to embrace it. All right, so going forward, it will be best to be implementing certain rituals, whatever works for you, implementing those certain rituals into your life consistently. All right, so that's why it's about observing right now. We're observing what's going on this week. How do I feel after I've released, you know, what I've had to release? Then with the sun here and the sun here, Mercury will be here too. So what it is that with the ruler of this sign being here with the sun, it's a major party. All right, mentally we're going to be feeling very fluid. Communications in all areas of life are going to open up. Curiosity is going to be increased. So that's why I said, and this is going to be a form of intuition, all right, coupled with the aspect I just mentioned, is going to be, you know, a form of intuition. So pay attention to that. But overall, this is going to give us a social flair, okay, especially if this is in houses like 1, 5, 9, or anywhere above the horizon. We should really be using this social Gemini playful, youthful energy to get things done, get out there, communicate, learn something new, express ourselves. All right, and from there, that's going to just lead us into the next new moon that's to come. So, all right, this is my interpretation of this week's forecast. Feel free to let me know how the full moon went for you. Anything you're anticipating this week. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, feel free to do so. If you need a reading, holla at me. Till next time, peace. Peace.